We're looking at books, looking at books, looking at books. Who's the books? What a... So today's video is slightly different from my other videos. I was tagged by the lovely Reba Reads to do the book recommendation tag, and I thought I would give it a go. I would describe BookTube to be like that crush that never knew I existed. I remember watching BookTube and loving it, but never had the confidence to kind of make my own YouTube channel, obviously until now, and talk about books. So I'm really excited to give it a go. I would love to make bookish friends that talk about books, rave about books, since I hardly do anything else other than read, and I'd really like people to understand the bookish struggle. So let's jump straight into the questions. But first, well, hello there. This is Zurich, and right now we're up in the air, where we free fall into books, poetry, and anything else we decide to get into. Now that we're all acquainted, let's make our descent. Draw on a bone. There are 15 questions, so let's just head into it. First question: a book you tell people is your favorite. You know, I struggle so much talking about favorite books. Like, I honestly don't think about books in terms of my favorite or anything like that. It brings up a lot of questions about what makes a book a favorite. Is it the rating you give it at the end? Is it the feeling that you get from it when you're reading it? How much you enjoyed reading the book, even if the book isn't objectively great? Does that make it your favorite? Should it make it your favorite? I don't know the answer to that question. I think it would be a really good video to kind of discover what makes a favorite book. But in lieu of making an hour-long video about the philosophical conundrums of picking a favorite book, I would say that for me, I take to be one where the reading experience has really stuck with me since I've read it. Like, it's really affected my head since I've read it. And I would say a book that has done that to me is The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. It's about one summer where the devil visits Soviet Moscow, and it can't really be explained in a type of genre. It's incredibly funny, and it criticizes Soviet beliefs about religion and their control over people and government. It really does defy categorization, but I think you should read it, and that's probably the book that stuck with me the most. Just thinking about it now, maybe another one would come up if I were to think about it later. Question number 2: a book that is your guilty pleasure. I personally don't read the book equivalent of the McDonald's Saver menu. I don't. But the one exception where I would read it, like this trope, would be it's a bit weird, would be young professional women who are existentially sad and who are living in a cosmopolitan city. Like, this just one trope I kind of really enjoy, and I kind of pick up even if the book isn't actually very good. And sometimes they are very good, but it doesn't really matter. If the trope is like that, then I probably will read it. One I've recently read is called Night Shift by Carrie Ladner, about a sad young woman who becomes obsessed with another enigmatic woman as they're working the night shift as a crime news aggregator. It's not the best book in the world, I will admit. It's not bad, but it's not the best. But I would say that sad professional women who are preferably middle class or upper middle class, living in a city, and I don't know, just thinking and being sad, it's a trope that I enjoy. What can I say? I generally will give it a chance if I find like the blurb has that. So yeah. If you have any recommendations of existentially sad women living in a city, literary fiction, send it my way. Put it in the comments. Question number 3: a book everyone loved but you didn't. I would say, don't come at me. Okay, don't come at me. But, and I'm not even gonna give any caveats. I'm just gonna say it, and you're gonna understand when I finish my sentence. So I would say A Secret History by Donna Tartt. Look, okay, hold on. I actually really like the book. I really liked Donna Tartt's writing. I think her ability to mix classical history with like 80s America, that mixture of old and new, amazing. I really liked it. The characterization, not so much. Especially the main character, who I can't remember the name of, which is saying something. I think you should be able to remember the main character's name. And I just thought he was a bit boring. I understand that that's the trope. He's a person looking into like an upper echelon group and he's supposed to be a chameleon, but I think he was so chameleon I couldn't see him. I didn't like him really. He kind of reminds me of the main character in The Great Gatsby, and I also didn't like him either. So maybe this is just me, but I would say a secret history. Question 4, a book you read the fastest. So I read War with the Newts by Czech author Karel Čapek. An astounding book. It's a satirical science fiction book where there's a discovery where intelligent newts are discovered and they are enslaved and exploited. One, not only is it a really good analogy of different social commentary like colonialism, Nazism, segregation and fascism, all those, but it's actually just incredibly funny. Like it was really funny to read, and I sped through it and I wasn't bored. It was written like a historical newspaper. It doesn't read like a normal novel. It reads slightly non-fiction-ish, but really enjoyed it. You should read it. Question number 5, a book that deserves more hype. I'm gonna say The Professor by Charlotte Bronte. It was one of my favourite Brontes, just maybe sitting behind Wuthering Heights. Love that book. It's about William Crisworth, who goes to Brussels as a teacher in a girls' school, and it's about how he grows as a person and his relationships as he's teaching. It's a really humane book. It's really sincere and endearing. William is anyway. It's written in first person and you really get a sense of his character, and it is a precursor to Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I don't think a lot of people talk about this book. I really enjoy it. It's not talked about at all. It's actually her first novel as well, and yeah, good, really good. Question number 6, a book that is becoming a movie/TV show. I haven't read it yet, but I do want to get to Poor Things by Alistair Gray. It looks amazing, the film, and I've heard good things about the book as well, so really want to get to that by the end of the year, before I watch the movie preferably. Poor Things won the Venice Film Festival, which I keep up with, so another reason why I want to kind of watch it. It's also linked to Frankenstein, which is also a book that I deeply enjoy. So altogether, that's the one that I kind of want to read, I mean. Question number 7, a book you have reread the most. So I would say Journey to the River Sea by Eva Ebsen. I'm not really a person that goes back to books, but the one exception I would say I do this for would be like childhood books I read, and I read A Journey to the River Sea when I was a kid. So I have read it at least 5 times, really enjoyed the story, and it's a comfort read for me. Another comfort read for me from when I was a kid is A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Yeah, and I just really enjoy those stories. Go back to them all the time. Question number 8, a book from a genre you don't typically read. So I don't typically read fantasy. I do enjoy it because every time I've read a fantasy, I have not been disappointed, but I just don't get to them as often than I would like to. And I want to change that. I definitely want to change that. But one book that I have read that I do enjoy, that I don't often read in the genre of, is The Hobbit by Tolkien, obviously Tolkien. And it's just really good. I just really loved it. I read it this year and the story is great. The characters, Bilbo Baggins, Gandalf, love them. And the world is just magical and I wanted it to last forever. I really enjoyed it. I think I haven't read Lord of the Rings yet, and I haven't even watched the movies of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I haven't done any of that. But The Hobbit reading experience, perfect. Just like great. Question number 9. A book that deserves all the hype it gets. Maybe not by Colin. I mean, it felt like it came from the colon. Maybe not by Colleen Hoover. It got no hype and it deserved to get none. Okay? Read my review on my Instagram if you want to know more. But all I'll say, no hype, deserves none. Question number 10. A book you usually recommend when asked to give a recommendation. I don't usually give recommendations ever. One, I don't talk to people. That's half true. But two, when people ask like what book I should read, I really kind of go off what they're feeling rather than thinking this is definitely going to be the book that they should read at this point in time, like however they're feeling. Sometimes the best book could be the worst book if it's not at the right time. I really go specific if someone's really looking for a particular genre, like classic romance fiction or a spy novel or something. I really go off that and the best novel for them at that time rather than a book that they should really read whenever. Yeah. Question 11. A book that has your favourite character. Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth, love them, from Pride and Prejudice, obviously, Pride and Prejudice. A perfect pair, love them. I actually want to read more books that have like really good couples like that, who are like, I don't know, just really, really cute stuff like that. Cute stuff like that. I don't read a lot of romance ever, and if I do read romance, it's kind of like really like torturous and toxic, and I think that's part of my personality. I'm not sure what I can say about that, but that is the truth. So if you have any couples that aren't toxic, send them my way, put them in the comments, looking for them. Question number 12. A book you wish you could live in. So I recently read this year Victoria by Nut Hamson, I think. I really enjoyed the setting. It's really beautifully written and it's like Norway description, like lots of nature, lots of water, lakes and stuff like that. But I actually just think I just want to go to Norway again. So that's probably what's given that feeling to me rather than anything else. Question number 13. A book you thought you would hate but ended up loving. I don't really read books that I think I'm gonna hate or I'm not really sure about the quality. My thinking is that there's so many books out there to read and I don't have the time to read all of them. And I think I don't want to pick one up that's not up to par, you know. I don't pick up anything that I don't think is going to be at least a 4-star read. Like sometimes it disappoints me and then that's sad, but I usually pick it up and it's a 4-star read. Nothing even less than like 3-star, but generally 4-star. I do read terrible books on purpose though, which is also like enjoyable and it's all part of the fun. Question number 14. A book that made you cry. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara made me sob in my bed. A Book Thief by Marcus Zusak made me cry on a train. And Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy made me go through an existential crisis of self-worth and fate. It also made me sob for a month. So those are the ones that made me cry. I read Jude the Obscure this year, but those 2 other books I read like 5 years ago. I still think about them, so they probably will make you cry too, which is good. I like books that make me cry. My cold, dead heart likes books that make me cry so I can feel something. Question number 15, last one I think. A book you wish you could read for the first time. I'm gonna have to say The Hobbit again. Like the experience was magical. I felt in the world, the descriptions are great. The storyline was exciting. I know it's written for children, but it's enjoyable for any age. I think if you haven't read The Hobbit, go read The Hobbit, because I remember thinking as I was reading it, I want to wipe my memory and start it again just because of the experience is so magical in my head. So yeah, The Hobbit, great read. Oh, and it got me out of a really big reading slump, like big time. I think what brought me into that slump? I think I was reading Crime and Punishment, which is a great book, fantastic, amazing book. I think I'm gonna make a video about it, but it got me. It got me. So The Hobbit brought me out. So yeah, those are the questions. I enjoyed this. I actually had a lot of fun. I should do more tags. I'm very new to the whole tag YouTube sort of situation, but I enjoy it and I like finding new tags and new people to get to know, which is probably one of the reasons why I set up a YouTube channel, to kind of like get to know more people. So say hello. I think I should do a new booktuber tag. Okay, that's gonna be in the works. I should do that. But say hello if you are know any of the books, if you enjoyed books. What do you think about the questions? I've tagged a couple new booktubers that I've come across really recently. But if you found this video and you want to do the tag, then like consider yourself tagged. You look at you you are tagged. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit more casual, a bit more rambly. Follow my Instagram for me raving about more books. Here's what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading Gigi by Colette. Really enjoying this. It's a short story about, you know, women in love and their like power dynamics between men and women in like 19th century France. I think it's 19th century. Let's have a look. 18th century France. So I'll probably write a review about this on my Instagram, so follow me there. Other than that, thank you for watching, and until next time, happy landing.